Hi, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whichever part of the world you are today. I am Rosie, and here we are at T Transitions. It's a storytelling space where women's real experiences of change, such as career shifts, identity evolution, healing, and reinvention, take center stage. So, through honest conversations and grounded reflection, we explore the courage it takes to grow, and the wisdom that emerges along the way.
Hi, I'm Farah, and we welcome you to our space. Whether you're starting afresh or finding your way, we welcome you. You are in the right place right now. Our guest for today is Daniela. Welcome, Daniela.
Hi, nice to meet you. And,
Nice
it's
to-
good to be here. It's an honor to be invited to your podcast. So,
uh, Thank you.
Excellent.
Now, just as background, Daniela is originally from Romania. She's currently in Helsinki. She's lived in Turkey before, and where else have you lived?
just these three countries.
Okay. So, what were you doing in Turkey?
Same as I'm doing here. We were relocated there with my husband's job. So,
Okay.
yes.
Now, when you relocated for your husband's job, how does that affect you, like in terms of, say, your career or your mindset from a country to country? Because this is not of your choosing. This is due to his work. How does that affect you?
Well, I also chose to go, right? Because if
Okay.
he
Yep.
wouldn't have agreed to his relocation, he wouldn't have
Yes.
moved, right?
Yes.
So
Correct.
it was at our first relocation. It was a different situation than it was when we moved here to Helsinki, because
Mhm.
then I was in my maternal leave. In Romania, we get to have 2 years of maternal leave, right?
Nice.
So my baby was a baby, and we were supposed to stay there just 6 months or so. So
Mhm.
on in my calculations, there was enough time to go experience Istanbul for 6 months, then come back
Mhm.
and think about whatever life with a toddler would be.
Yeah.
But then it prolonged, and there we are in the situation where we had to look for kindergartens and
Wow.
yeah. So we
So,
ended up staying until her first childhood was there in Istanbul until 6 years old. So,
wow.
but
That's a long time.
it is, but I
Mhm.
can't complain. It was the best place I could have asked for her to grow up, to grow and to be raised into that. The weather, the people, everything
Mm.
is
Right.
yes.
So
I can't complain.
you spent
Yeah.
6 years in Istanbul before moving,
Almost.
almost, yeah, before moving to Helsinki.
No, we had to move. We moved back in Romania. We were actually supposed to move to another country, not here in Finland. But
Mhm.
COVID came, right? Everything
Mm.
when COVID came,
Yes.
it's a different life.
Yeah.
So no, for COVID we stayed put in Romania, which was really good because uh, being not being allowed to travel and everything, at least we were closer to family, because
Mm.
even with the traveling inside the same country, it was still
Yeah.
you know, right?
Right.
So
Mhm.
What's
yes.
the most jarring culture shock during this transition?
Well, first of all, I can honestly say it took me a while to
Mm.
feel that I belonged actually in Romania, even though
Wow.
I'm Romanian. So it
Mm.
was quite a difficult transition from Istanbul to come
Mm.
back to Bucharest.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so I
When you
actually
say the transition, I'm sorry, it is, what was it exactly? Or was it something you could not
Um,
define?
uh, I felt that I didn't belong anymore,
Mm.
and I didn't identify myself with the people around me and everything,
Oh,
because being
interesting.
Yes, actually.
Mm.
Even though, remember, I had my friends whom I still keep in touch even now, and I had my family there, right?
Mhm.
But and yes, with them I I could meet, talk, and things like that. But
Mm.
being COVID, it was again very
Mm.
difficult.
Mm.
Plus, I felt in a way, I felt that I was kind of forced to pleasantries with the other people
Yeah.
on the
Mm.
street, even though
Mm.
I didn't feel that uh, I have something to talk to with them, right?
Yeah.
When in Istanbul or even here, what I love most about this situation I'm in is that I can afford to have my own bubble. So
Mhm.
um, now with the Finnish language, I can honestly say I am doing a lot better than I did with my Turkish language
Mhm.
studies because, well, it's different periods of times in
Mhm.
my child's life. So it's a different time for me as well with my own time and everything.
Mm.
Um, but still, it's not like being being an outsider
Mhm.
Mm.
uh, it actually helps at some point.
Okay. So, someone had mentioned before this transition of going back to your country after being abroad for a few years. The relationships are there. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you kind of like outgrow your own country in a way because now you have a broader horizon,
I don't
of
know if
living
it's
abroad.
for the broaden horizon or something
Mm.
like that, but I didn't feel uh, I didn't feel felt connected with the same with the mentalities and with the people and with
Yeah.
So
yeah.
what did you do for yourself then to make yourself, because you have your kid and of course you need to be supportive of your spouse
Yeah.
while you are also trying to build your brand in a new space, right? New environment. With everything that's going on, what did you do for yourself to keep the momentum going?
In Romania or here?
Just in general,
In
because
general,
yeah.
well, I've started both in Romania and here in Helsinki.
Mhm.
Uh, s- I started to write on my blog, so this actually helped because it kept me connected with the interests that nah, I'm not saying it alright. The interest that I'm interested in, that is
Mm-hmm.
like the cultural events or something like
Mhm.
being able to do this kind of research and let other people know about whatever is going on in Bucharest or in Helsinki or whatever. That
Mm.
actually gave me some kind of purpose.
There you go.
If I
S-
can,
So
yeah.
let's talk about that a little bit. I know in Substack you wrote something, a title, What
Yeah.
to Expect When You Are Expecting.
Yes, when
Mhm.
you're expating,
Yep.
because that's me, right?
So
Yeah.
how has your definition of home changed you?
Well, I when we decided to move first time and now second time, is that is we have our home right in
Mhm.
Romania that we didn't sell, and so we have our base.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But again, when we decided to move, we said, okay, we move, and that's our home now. So
Yeah.
it's all in the mind. We
Yeah.
can't say I don't like it here or whatever. We
Mm.
Yeah.
decided to take this step based on a lot of research. Like I imagine, we didn't come here just on an impulse. Let's go because it sounds nice to move to
Yeah.
this country. No, no.
Yep.
And again, considering also the age of the child, that's
Yeah.
something that weighs a lot
Mhm.
in taking this kind of decision. So no, definitely here is the best place we could be
That's
in,
good.
at least at this time in our lives,
Mhm.
Yes.
considering
Mm.
her age, actually.
Right.
So do you find that after two different countries, two completely different countries, we were just talking about, say, the weather, right? How has the adapting been? Do you realize that, hey, I'm actually pretty good at adapting from one environment
Yes.
to another?
Yes. So,
Mm.
because having that first experience moving to Istanbul in a time
Mm.
where there weren't so many Facebook groups or whatever, not even Google Translate wasn't working so good as it works now. So we are talking about 2014, right? So maybe it wasn't so long ago, but in
Yeah.
terms of all these devices and internet things,
Yep.
pretty much, yeah. So, and then having that experience where I can say, well, I did a pretty good job having with a baby close to me and everything, or maybe that was just the mommy brain
Nah.
when you are set on and focus on a lot of you are multitasking no matter the hour of the day or
Yeah.
the night, right? Having that experience at moving to another country with a much older child can be much different. So it was, I already knew what I had to do. So go on all those expat groups, Facebook groups, mothers, whatever with name,
Yeah.
with mothers in Helsinki
Yeah.
in the name, and find your tribe. Yes,
Yep.
because it is all about finding a tribe of yours.
Correct.
And then I
Exactly.
even got lucky and I found a high school friend here, and she recognized actually my name and she contacted me. So here you
Aw,
go. I already,
Wow.
yeah,
very
so
good.
and then with whatever I'm interested in or passionate, or I went there. And if I am, how you say, if you're, it's like in every relationship, if you are compatible with one person, I don't know, you have common passions or hobbies
True.
or whatever, you give it a
Yes.
try, right? Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
let's have a coffee, let's do another event like this one and see if we can connect more. If
Yes.
it's if we can, that's fine. If not, well, that's life. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm
It
not
is a common, it's a common thread, which is you have to put yourself out there and
yes,
find your tribe. That is so important for a lot of us because
yeah,
it defines us. It's also relationships that we need apart from our family, right?
yeah. Plus,
And-
I didn't expect to have or to make really best friends in none of my movings abroad. But still, I keep in touch with three persons from Istanbul. So that's also for me, it's
Helpful.
a really big win.
Yeah.
And I think it also helps my brain or the emotional, because it's all about emotional AQ develop or
Yep.
whatever
Yes.
the, it's also because I am certain of as you said, of the family and of my other friends that I still have from Romania, either from high school or from my university years. So that also helps. And here I can consider myself lucky. I found three friends that I consider best,
Yeah.
and all the others that are acquaintances or
Yes.
It sounded like you have used your previous experience, bring
yes,
it with you to the new one,
yes,
and you do what's best, which is go to the internet, finding your resources, finding your people, right? And
yes,
coincidentally, the community, wherever, whatever is their ethnicity, their background, align with
mine,
your mind, your
yes,
scope of friendship and the
yes,
relationship, and that's
yes,
the key, right?
yes, correct.
I
That's
like to touch base a little bit on, you talk very little about the emotional part of this. I hated relocating from one place to the other. Even here in the US, our just last week episode talk about how relocation changed us. You've done more relocating than Farah and I combined together.
Yeah.
What do you have, like a checklist of what you prioritize? These are the must do, have to do first in order, for us to settle down our first week in our new location. I'm just curious. You seem to be a seasoned relocator, but is there like a ritual that you have?
Well, so as I said, in Istanbul we stayed for the first childhood, and here we will definitely stay until she will decide if she'll stay to university here or to some other country. I know for sure I will not get old in this country. That's for sure.
Ah,
So that my time here is limited for the
Yeah.
duration. I will make the most of it and enjoy whatever this country has to offer, because it has beautiful, beautiful landscapes and lots of activities to do, a lot of nature. I mean, I drink tap water, which I
Do you
couldn't.
really? Wow.
Absolutely. It's one of the cleanest or purest, how is the word in English?
Purest, yeah.
The purest waters, right, in the world. And the quality of the air.
That makes a
as I
lot of
said,
difference.
biking, yes, everything is reachable, either biking or if the bus or the tram says it comes to a certain hour, then that's the hour it comes. But deciding where, if I understood correctly, what to do if we decide to move in a new country first. When we decided to move here, because my husband already had two other offers to move, I said I'm not moving out of Europe. So that I knew that was my first thing. I want to be on a plane ride, in a doable plane ride
Yeah,
for
makes
her,
sense.
if
Yes.
she is if she misses so much her grandparents, so we can flew like
Yes.
not in 16 hours of flight, but in 2-3
Totally.
hours.
Yep.
That was main priority.
Very,
Then of
very
course,
practical short decisions.
Yeah.
yes, or if God forbid, if something bad happens to our family in Romania, we are able to go, like planes are here or buses or whatever. It's not something very expensive. It's doable, right? Then of course, safety of the country. And then my husband was the practical one. He checked the links of the cost of living in Finland and or in whatever other country. I mean, that's something that you have to take into consideration. Because if it was only for emotional time, I say, oh, but I think I would like to move to live there or there or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And he said, okay, let's keep it real now.
There you go. Well, speaking of keeping it real, I want to check a little bit on the temperature, talk about social.
Yes.
I read some of your articles that you wrote. You often compare societies
Yes.
from your point of view.
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe the difference in the social energy between the bustling cities, streets in Istanbul versus now that you're in a quiet efficiency of Helsinki? Yeah.
Well, first of all, I if you compare traffic, definitely Helsinki wins, right? Because it's
No brainer there. Yeah.
I mean, the whole Istanbul has the population of the whole Romania, and Romania is already 3 times bigger population than
It's
the whole
growing.
Finland. So
Yeah.
you can't compare the traffic. But what I did there, and I also did here, do here, I circle, I do like a bubble for myself. Maybe I'm using this word too much, bubble of people, bubble, but that's how I decided. For example, the extracurricular activities, right? Something for me to be able to go with her then in some when she was little, and as you maybe know, all the smallest, the youngest, the children, the biggest, the luggage you have to carry, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It had to be quite close to home, so I didn't have to carry a lot of for a long
Stuff.
time the
Yeah.
baggage. And here I drew the bubble again for the extracurricular. Only
Yeah.
now that this time she doesn't need my help, because one of the best things this country has to offer is safety of children. And all children here, starting 5-6 years old, they go by themselves to school, to football, to whatever they choose to, if they are close.
Mhm.
So yes, social. That's
Now,
That's a
between
lot.
the two countries, because they are so vastly different, what did you learn from both places that you would keep for yourself? Going back to Romania or going to your next posting?
learning regarding what?
Something cultural maybe that you have seen that you think, that's a good idea. We don't have that in Romania. Or that's something that changes you.
Well, maybe I think more food related, maybe. Right? Because culturally, Romanians and Turks are very similar, right? We were
Really?
under Turkish, we were under Ottoman occupation for 300 years. I mean,
Okay.
most of our food and
Yeah.
talk and
Yeah.
hugging and whatever things, I imagine. Yes, we are very similar with that. So Turkey for me was definitely more at home than Finland is, because well, these people here, they don't talk too much, and they don't smile as much as but from Finland,
But that's just normal to them.
yes, exactly. And that's what we have
And
to accept. Whatever,
Yes.
whenever you are moving to a new place, you
yeah,
have to first to learn about that society, how it
correct.
is in at its core, by formation from so many years ago. Isn't
Yes.
I definitely don't blame or whatever. No, no, no. That's normal for them. That's
Yep.
okay. I have to accept it when
And adapt to it.
exactly, because
Mhm.
if you are not adapting, then in this world actually that is moving so fast and it's evolving, you have to be a chameleon, because
Yes.
otherwise
That's a perfect way to
yeah,
describe. Yep, absolutely.
be a
Absolutely.
chameleon and adapt for every person that you meet.
What kind of then, let's talk about that a little bit. With that to me is a culture shock. Coming from a big city, for example, right? I was born in Singapore. Now I live in America. And if I were to then now move to Helsinki, it will take me a while because I'm so used to the hustle and bustle. Even still here, there's still, a lot of traffic. But talk about the tradition, the Romanian tradition that you bring into the Nordic country. Do you have anything that you keep
Well,
to that?
yes, definitely. I have many things, but it's not like I can share them with. You said in the northern countries, I bring it with me, but mostly I do it at home,
Yeah,
or if
Yes.
I go at
in your home.
church.
Yep.
But in our home, the three of us, we are Romanians, so for us it's normal to have
Got
some
it.
Easter or
Yeah.
Christmas traditions that we definitely will keep. And if we are lucky enough as to have guests, I like having guests or going to friends for, especially for Easter or Christmas, right? The more the merrier. That's definitely us, because we know how to party and to eat. I mean, we eat
Yeah.
Yep.
a lot for Easter and Christmas.
Us too.
We
Yeah.
cook a lot, and
Yeah.
we eat a
Sound
lot.
like Asian people. We love food. And every time we get together, it's more food than the yip yap.
We said we are at the table at 11 or 12 in the afternoon, and we can I say we leave the table maybe whenever everyone
Yeah.
wants to leave the table. I mean,
Yeah.
we have a starting point, but leaving we don't.
There you
Now
go.
we have also realized from our own experience, we share our food with the locals. Do you do that?
Yes, especially for even for today, for my daughter came yesterday at home and said, "Mommy, tomorrow is Pie Day." And I say, "Mom, what is Pie Day? Did you volunteer me again to bake you something?"
Oh gosh, you sound like me years ago. Did you volunteer me? When did I sign up for that? Yeah.
Yes. That's what she does.
Yeah.
So we at school or at the extracurriculars, what I love about this society is that they have these fundraising activities, right? Where they raise money for everything. If it's my daughter, she's going to football, so they have football raising funds for, you name it,
Everything.
tournament and everything, at school
Yes.
for some other things. So we
Yes.
had this selling mornings or weekends where, like it or not, you have to bring something. The most appreciating things are, of course, the the baked things,
Baked goods.
Yes.
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So that's where I bring
Nice.
what I cook. Like for today's, it was pumpkin pie. These guys here, they don't have too many pies in this country, right? So
Okay.
for me, coming from Romania or even from
Oh.
Turkey, where we would have pie, we can have pies from everything.
Yeah. Yep.
I take advantage and I bake as many pies and different pies as I can. Right?
Nice. Very
Okay.
good.
So
Yeah, that's a great way to share your culture, you know, and your
Yep.
food.
Yeah.
Now, your daughter grew up in Turkey, in Romania, as well as in Helsinki.
yes,
Does that make her like a citizen of the world?
yes, definitely.
100%.
Absolutely. And not to mention her father, at some point he was stationed in Lisbon. That's where we are actually were supposed to move. So we visited him for a total of a few weeks during his stay there. And yes, definitely, she is a natural at languages, for example, because
Nice.
being exposed to so many languages, she. So we were talking with her in Romanian at home, at school, in kindergarten it was English, but of course she had friends that were Turks or in the park, right at the playground. And at some point she was forming sentences and questions in all three languages, putting the words the correct form. That was what. That was until she was almost 4.5 or something, and then she switched. Okay, I'm talking with the grandmother
Nice.
in this language, at school in this language, in park with that friend in this language, and that definitely helps. When we moved here, they made so her first language is still English at school. But then she has Finnish as second language, and then they made us choose foreign language, right? And I had to choose between Spanish and French. And I said, okay, let's choose the Spanish because of the accents in French and the pronunciation. I said, if it's Finnish, if she already has Finnish, it's already as foreign as.
There you
Yes.
go.
Let's
Yep.
let's keep it in Spanish. And I told her, if you think you don't know how to talk in Spanish, just talk in Romanian, and the teacher will understand you.
Aw.
All right.
And that's
Yeah.
what she did.
Yeah.
And she came home and she was, "Oh my God, Mommy, did you know I knew how to say that word and that word?" And it was so. I
That's
said, "Did
lovely.
I tell you to do that?" So yes.
Yeah.
Mama knows best. There you go. Well, we are coming close to time, but I have one very important questions in related to what you just the last statement there, talking about future. One other thing that I read about you is your opinion about AI. How do you see AI actually changing the way expats share their stories or navigate new languages, right?
Yes.
What's your opinion on that? And how has it been with you adapting to the technology?
Well, as if you say, you know
Yeah.
that I'm not such a big fan of AI, right?
I think I have this love-hate relationship with AI. That's my
Yes. So,
my story.
and you told about these stories that we tell. I'm afraid that many people in the future depending, I think, on the age of the persons. I don't know. I don't want to enter into this deep.
That's
uh,
that's a
yeah,
rabbit hole right there. Yeah,
yeah.
no, I want to stay away from that.
But I think we have to be really careful, because that is a risk that you as whatever the person, the sex, the gender, the age, you will not know how to make the to know the difference, what's actually an expat story and what's an AI story, what's imaginary and what is real. It's like in the fiction, right?
Yeah.
You don't, at least when you read a book, you know that's a book, and if it isn't on the cover, that's a roman, a novel, or whatever. It will know it's a history fact book, it's whatever, geographical atlas.
Yep.
That's a fact. But with AI, you don't and I fear that they, I don't know exactly who is they, will embellish, or they'll make all these kind of stories, depending whoever decides what's in vogue right now. Either it's whatever political statement, if it's racist, if it's ageism, if it's whatever, menopause, whatever it is, and they will send all these stories into this direction. So
and with that, I think that's part of the reason why we need to continue share our stories, because
live stories.
Yes.
When we share, it resonates to the real people. Real people need to listen to these
real
voices.
people.
Exactly. So that we can relate, we can share the truth, the facts. That's what we need to be smarter than AI, whoever that is, the bots, to make sure that we don't confuse everybody, right? And the goal, just like our podcast mission, the goal is to share untold stories, unscripted stories, so that we can share, and the others, the women out there, can take some of your experience so that they can learn from it and tweak it for themselves as they too are moving in their next journey. May it be for career pivots or families or spouse moving, so on and so forth. Part of this reason is for us to continue talking about it, to share. There's no shy, there's no judgment. It's free
Just
range.
natural.
Correct.
Yeah, and this is your
Right.
personal journey, you know. And if you have listened to the other podcast, there's a common thread there. You know, it's all challenges that we go through from place to place. Now, your stories have been very positive, and we want our listeners to take away from that. That look, you know, go with the flow, adapt, and you'll be fine. Have a plan of some sort.
Always have a plan. Have a plan, because you can't just go into the unknown, as the famous if you know the Frozen.
Precisely. Now, having said all that, we thank you for being our guest. Where do you see yourself in, you know, the future? Do you think you'll retire in Romania or somewhere else?
I don't know. I know what I know for sure is that I want to be living in a cold country, so I definitely need a warmer climate. I've actually been in this Talviloma. Talviloma is winter holiday. We've been to the US, right, for our and I've enjoyed the Californian sun, and you can't imagine how good it did to my bones. And I was like, yes, please come to.
Yes.
So that made me for sure be sure that I won't be. I didn't want to live here since I moved here for the duration of my whole life. But now I know for sure, yes, definitely. It will be Southern Europe.
Yes. And there's plenty of sun in the south.
Yes.
And again, this has been a very, very uplifting, positive stories sharings. Thank you, Danielle, for that.
Hopefully, someone will take as far as something positive from my stories, and if I will help at least one person through.
There you go.
Exactly. That is
the mission.
our mission as well, to help someone to just listen and
100%.
take something from it, right?
Yes.
So
So
I
that it'll make
will,
your journey easier.
and I will share all of your handles in this episode so that our listeners and new listeners can also, go
Thank
to
you.
your pages there and read your articles as well. And with that said, and ladies, if you believe in amplifying women's voice, subscribe and join us every Thursday on YouTube channel at 3 p.m. Eastern because we have interesting episodes coming up. We are also on Instagram, Facebook, and for
YouTube.
updates and YouTube. Yes. And we are growing. I'm so happy that we are growing, only being what? 8 months now. So yeah, do that. And if you feel called to share your own story or want to be a guest, DM or email us at ttransitions.com.
Email at hello@ttransitions.com.
What did I
We keep
just say?
getting this wrong, Daniela. We cannot get our email address right.
Both
The
of
two of
us
us.
are having a foggy head because we are going
Yeah.
through cold. But anyways, yes, email us. Thank you very much, ladies, and
You.
take care, and I will see you soon.
Thank you, Daniela.
Thank you. Thank you, girls.